Thank you for watching this Purdue OWL vidcast on active reading, approaching articles. Active reading means reading with purpose. It's a set of strategies that can help you to read more efficiently and to make your readings more useful to your research. In this video, we'll be focusing on the first stage of active reading, evaluating the usefulness of an article and deciding if you need to read it. This includes two key steps: assessing an article's general importance and assessing its relevance to your own goals. When I want to decide if an article is useful for me, the first thing I do is read the abstract. If you're not familiar, an abstract is a short statement that summarizes an article. An abstract basically distills a whole article into a paragraph or two. It should give you a sense of the article's argument or hypothesis, as well as the author's findings, methodologies, limitations, and significance. This is a great tool to quickly get a sense of what an article is about. For a printed journal article, you can typically find the abstract at the top of the article, just below the title. For an online journal, you may be able to read the abstract on a preview page before downloading the whole article. Some databases may even include the abstract within their search results. Look for a link that says Abstract or Details. You can click this to read a summary and figure out if that article sounds useful to you. Unfortunately, not every article will have an abstract. This can be dependent on the field or the conventions of the particular journal. Other things to consider are the article's credibility, circulation, and age. You can typically find most of this information on the results page of your database or library search, or on the journal website. First, you may want to consider the credibility of the author. Citing well-respected scholars can help you show your own expertise in the field. Do you recognize an article's author? Perhaps you've read something else by them, or have seen them cited in your other reading. You can look up the author's other work to see if they've published extensively on this topic. But of course, it's also worthwhile to cite new scholars. You'll want to find a balance between big names in your field and emerging scholars. You can also consider the credibility of the journal. As you research, you'll come to know and recognize the major journals in your field. If one is unfamiliar, you can look it up to check that it's peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed means that the journal sends submissions out to be anonymously evaluated by other scholars in the field to ensure that articles are accurate, high quality, and have scholarly worth. Peer-reviewed articles are the gold standard for academic publications and will be the most credible type of article. Some research databases even include a handy peer-reviewed tag next to the journal name. Another important consideration when talking about credibility is funding, because who funded the research can shape the research questions, methods, and methodologies. Check the abstract, author's note, or first footnote for acknowledgments about funding. The next point, circulation, refers to the overall reach of a text, or how widely it's been cited. As you read, you'll encounter articles that have been cited once or twice, and you'll encounter others that have been cited hundreds or even thousands of times. Look for metadata that says something like article metrics, or a link to work that has cited this article. In the example we're seeing here, you can see this article has been cited 61 times. An article with lower circulation can still be good and useful. It might simply be a newer article. But something revolutionary or novel is more likely to earn wider circulation. Next, we want to think about the age of an article and how this affects its applicability. A 15-year-old article on the latest technology in gene editing might not be as useful as one from 6 months ago. On the flip side, a 50-year-old article that builds a foundational theory might still be widely applicable, even if it needs updating. The important thing to keep in mind is that older articles are useful in different ways than newer ones. The way you use articles and the pace at which they're published are heavily field dependent. Finally, you'll want to consider how an article fits with your needs and the goals of your writing project. If a reading was assigned for a course, you might ask yourself why it was assigned and how it relates to the course content. When you're reading for your own project, you should keep the goals of your writing in mind. Use those goals to focus your reading. Questions you can ask yourself to sharpen your purpose include: is this article related to your purpose? What's most important about this article to you? Can you focus your reading on certain sections? And how do you want to use this article as you begin writing? Use the answers to these questions to inform what you read and how you take notes. You may find it helpful to write a guiding question or two for yourself that will help you to focus your reading. You can include these at the top of your notes page. With this kind of focus, you might even be able to write notes that approach a first draft of how you'll discuss the reading within your own article. Check out the rest of our videos about active reading for targeted reading practices that can help you get the most out of your readings, and tips for reading academic books. You can also find more information about graduate writing on the Purdue OWL website. Thanks for watching.